Hello, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Life During a Pandemic. Today, we are going all the way to Zimbabwe to talk to one of our brothers over there, Martin. Martin, you are welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm doing all right. It's now a bit chilly. We're getting
Okay.
into the heart of winter, so yeah. But it's all right. Hello, viewers.
Martin, could you briefly introduce yourself to our viewers so that they get an idea who you are?
Okay. So my name is Kudakwashe Martin Matambo. I work as a communications officer for the Jesuit province of Zimbabwe and Mozambique.
Yeah.
My role basically is to do communications for the social communications for the Catholic Church, primarily for the Jesuit province in Zimbabwe and Mozambique.
Okay.
But mainly in the Catholic Church in Zimbabwe, which is to do digital online evangelization and also linking the Catholic media, the Catholic Church with the secular media, if you want to say so. Yeah. So basically, that's me.
And how long have you been doing this job?
I've been doing this job professionally and full time for about 4 years now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, prior to that, I was when I was still at college. Before that, I was used to write for the church. I used to write articles, gather news articles, and all that. But professionally, 4 years now.
Okay. All right. It's good. It's good to have you for this discussion. Now, Martin, could you briefly describe the situation of Zimbabwe as far as this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic is concerned to our viewers and to us also?
Yeah, so I think viewers, you all know the global pandemic, COVID-19, which they describe as a novel coronavirus, meaning the new coronavirus, which was first detected as an outbreak in Wuhan, China. Our country, Zimbabwe, has not been spared. We are also affected directly and indirectly. In terms of the figures, the Ministry of Health and Childcare in Zimbabwe confirms that we have 206 people who have been tested positive for coronavirus. And of those figures, we have recorded 4 deaths, 4 people who have lost their lives. The very first deaths included one of a very young man who was also a broadcast journalist, a very popular name, Zorora Makamba. And then so then of the 206, we only have 229 recoveries. So we still have a lot of active cases. So the situation is that most of these cases have been reported as imported cases of mainly of returnees who are coming back from other countries like South Africa, like the UK, like United States of America, coming back to Zimbabwe. So the situation is that most of the returnees, the government have set up quarantine centers where when these people come, they spend a minimum of 14 to 21 days. 14 days in quarantine centers where they are tested, where they are checked. So from when we started the lockdowns, sometime in April, beginning of April, the cases have been very minimal, like around 50. Then about 2 weeks ago, we started seeing a sharp rise of the cases from around 53 to around 110 from last week. mainly because we assume, and as the explanations are given, that the people who had been in quarantine centers had now started to manifest, to show the symptoms, and that's when the tests were then started indicating positive. So we have had less than 5 local transmission cases. Most of these are imported cases. Yeah. Okay. So we could say the restriction, because we were on a total lockdown for about a month. Okay. Then the whole of April, then when we get into May, then we started reducing from level 4, which was a national total lockdown, and now we are in level 2, which only allows mainly economic activity, mostly formal economic activity to happen. Churches are still closed, and people are still praying from home. And most of public gatherings are still banned. So basically, I think this is the situation in Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Martin. I'm glad you mentioned that you went to the total lockdown. Yes. As a means of combating the spread of the virus. Now, during the total lockdown, how was the church able to minister to a member, especially the Catholic Church?
Yeah, so that was the total lockdown was a very difficult time for the church, and even now it's not a total lockdown, but the churches are still closed. So basically, there is no physical interaction that's happening within the church community, and during that time, I might say. There were quite a number of church activities that were affected, including the most obvious one. People still can't go for mass. People still can't join, like they're in the physical presence, various church activities. And I mean, you know how difficult it is for people who are used to going for mass, to a physical chapel, and then pray together, sing together, and I mean, share the peace and share the love. I mean, and even for priests, even for the clergy, when you're used to celebrating with people, and so that has been difficult. And besides just the sacramental aspect of being Catholic, of being Christian, the other things that were affected are various faith formation activities. You know, the church has got several schools, several formation programs for the youth, for the disabled, for what. So public gatherings were banned, schools were closed, schools are still closed right now. So that has been the most difficult thing to say. The formation activities that have been run by the church have been affected now, because you can no longer give spiritual direction in the physical interaction. You can no longer give confessions. And then there are other charitable activities like feeding programs that have been done in some schools, because you might know that Zimbabwe also has faced successive droughts for the past 3 years. So there is dire need for food aid. So yeah, I mean, actually, when we started in the beginning of the year, the bishops actually launched an appeal to get food aid to feed at least 2 million people. So that's so those programs as well have been affected. And in terms of how the church has been able to minister to the people, the most obvious one, but not always the most easy way to minister, has been to use online platforms. For example, when everyone else was on lockdown, some of us were still working. Some of us are still working. So and so we still had to do the most obvious one was live streaming mass, because even without congregants, priests still have to say mass. They can still say mass in their own private chapels and all. So we had to arrange with different parishes, with different bishops, on how best we would assist them. So we had to live stream mass with just one priest and maybe just one camera person and one technical person, just monitoring how the mass, the live stream was going on. You would find that a lot of people would log in to make sure that they watch the mass, they join the mass live. So that was the one way. The other way that people, that the church has been ministering to the people is through recorded material, where you'd record videos through the phone, or sometimes we would manage to professionally record some videos, then send them via different social media platforms like Facebook, like YouTube, and also send some pre-recorded audio materials, reflections. So there was some form of ministering that has been going on through, yeah. But so basically, I think that's how the church has been trying to minister to the people, and to continue at least to keep that spiritual communion between the priests who are celebrating mass there and the people who are sort of following from their homes. It was not always easy, being in Africa, internet connections, the cost of data. For people to log in every now and then when there is mass. Then also, all the other challenges that people in Zimbabwe are facing that could preclude them from following online. But yeah, we can say the church tried its best. We as social communicators have tried our best to make sure that people stay in touch and keep the faith.
Martin, when the ban is lifted and you're able to congregate as a family of God, are you expecting to see some changes in the way you worship in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, honestly, besides the way we worship, I think life is not going to be to go back to the old normal. I think yes. I think we now have a new normal, and that's going to come. But I think when the ban is lifted, there are certain things that are going to change. There are certain things that might not change at all. Like for example, one aspect of that's central to African worship, or that's central to Catholic worship, is the singing. So you will find out that after when coronavirus, I don't know if the virus is going to go away, but we hope
we pray it does.
We pray that it goes away, but we also have strong hope that even if it stays, we will be safe and strong. So I think some of the aspects are going to remain the same. Like, people still want to go to mass and they want to be able to sing. But for how long are we going to be told to sit, let's say, 2 meters away from each other? That's going to be difficult. So I think what's going to change is that in the immediate times, priests may need to adjust to saying more masses. Yeah. So because let's say, take for example, if a parish has got 3,000 people or 5,000 people, and maybe the restrictions are saying 100 people per gathering. So that means priests need to organize short masses and more of them.
Yeah.
Let's say maybe if they were saying one mass on a Sunday or two masses on a Sunday, they may need to arrange and say 3 or 4. So that means you may need maybe 2 or 3 priests to be doing more of that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that's going to affect the way the church has been operating in terms of the times the masses are going to be said.
Yeah.
But also the other thing is in the immediate term, the church may need to revise some of the ways mass is said. So let's that part when you are going to share the peace, in the immediate term you may need to skip that part.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who is still affected and who's got an active case and all that. So I think those parts like the greeting. We all love to see after mass, shake hands, hug our priests and all that. So I think these times may call for different expressions of love to our priests and to our dearly loved ones. So I think maybe bow to each other or do some other nice gestures to show how much we appreciate and value each other. So I think those are some of the things that may change. Outside mass, other things that may change include how people, let's say, socialize when they gather for guilds, for music courses, for other gatherings. There may be still a lot of restrictions or guidelines. But I tell you, the other thing that I think that's going to change is that once the people have been sort of freed up, there's going to be a lot of need for counseling service, so counseling, because you'd find that a lot of people take solace in going to church, to pray, to gatherings, to deal with their emotional challenges, with their emotional stress and all that. It really helps to relieve.
Okay. Martin. Our time is running out. So before you take leave of us, in one sentence, how is the wearing of the nose masks and the use of the hand sanitizers being practiced by the people of Zimbabwe?
It's not an easy thing, because I think right now it's a law that you need to wear your mask every other time you go out in the public. So I think people have really are adjusting to that. And use of sanitizers, I think there's still a challenge, because number one, there's a huge cost element factor to that. But and also in some areas you find there's challenges with actually running water. But I think so far people are really trying. People are really trying. Yes.
All right, Martin, it's been wonderful having this conversation with you. Any final message?
I just I'm happy to be live here, and I want to appreciate the work that you've been doing. I always follow your production, your live masses, discussions on the radios and all that. I just want to say well done, and thank you for leading, for being the torch bearers. We are definitely following, and I just wish the very best and blessings to all your viewers. I think this time has been a challenging time, especially for us social communicators, to say the church really needs to adapt quickly. Some of these digital platforms, so that we make sure the word goes to all the people, and especially some non-Catholics who were becoming slackening, because this is an opportunity for everyone who doesn't want to go to the physical church to get the message. So I think those are my final words. Thank you very much for having me here.
All right. We just said I speak to our friend all the way from Zimbabwe, Martin, sharing a few words with us as to regards life in Zimbabwe on the program Living or Life During a Pandemic. So you come here again with another episode. Keep faith alive, and God richly bless you. Martin, bye-bye.
Bye.